Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Gagne, and today I will be talking about my capstone project, which is my inquiry lesson. So the question that I ever wanted to look at is, how does the classification of bone, the size of the bone, the weight of the bone, influence the strength of the animal's bone altogether? This is part of my skeletal system unit in my animal veterinary medicine class, and the next time we meet we'll be talking about the breakages of bones and how to repair them. So the first activity we did was the hollow bone test. Students got one piece of paper, they had to wrap it around itself, put some tape on there, and see how many books they can hold. They had to predict on their worksheet how many books they would hold, tell me which type of animal group this matched, and discuss the function of the hollow bone. So here's a demo of one of my students doing this. She ended up getting 11 books on there. Some groups got 1, some groups got 3, depending on how they wrapped it. Students then evaluated this process, and they were able to move into the second phase of this activity, which was building a bone that was a replica and scale model to an animal bone. So students were able to predict the weight of their bone after they picked the bone that they wanted to make from a specific animal. They got to determine what does a breakage mean. So just because we're stacking books on it, doesn't have to fall all the way over for it to be considered broken. Does it have to start bending and cracking for it to be considered broken? What is a break? So they got to make the qualifications around that. They then observed the weight of the books being put onto it, reflected, made changes on their bone, retested it, draw a conclusion. Based off their 2 tests, did a gallery walk to observe other people's bones, and then they participated in a class discussion on their bones, and then they had to write a 1-paragraph response to the Vet Medicine Journal about bone strength. So here's some students doing the work. I do have a video here in a second. These girls were working on dog bones, a little bit smaller. They were long bones. This was a horse scapula, and she's also doing a cat tibia. Some video clips of the actual building going on. So they're putting rubber bands on there. She's wrapping some ribbon around hers, or yarn. Then over here is the stacking of the books. They ended up getting 11 on this bone before it broke, and then they went ahead and remodeled it. She's holding the bottom of it just to stabilize, because they did do a femur, so the top of the bone is rounded out. This group determined a break as any time that the structure of the bone starts sagging. So they can see like a wrinkle. Looking at the 6.2 chart, I would say overall this was pretty inquiry based. However, students did not have their own questions. They were given one from me. They were able to use the engineer decide process by going ahead and engineering something, reflecting, engineering something, reflecting, and getting ideas from the group in their gallery walk, and they were able to share out their ideas as well. They also got to determine what does a breakage mean, so they got to put their own criteria on the assignment as well. In terms of a teacher evaluation, students engaged in a practical life skill. Again, tomorrow we're now going to take these broken bones and see how to repair them. This is a veterinary science and medical course, so this is very relevant to what they want to do in their careers. They were able to use the engineer decide process to work on their bone. They had some background vocabulary in what the parts of the bone are. They did not yet have the vocabulary on those types of breaks. That will be continuing on in our lesson tomorrow. Questions that I ask, I need to improve on that. I don't ask a lot of questions that dig to a deeper understanding of the material. I stay a lot of surface level, so I know myself I need to start asking better questions. As far as my STEM perspective goes, I really see this as the figure 8.3, separate science disciplines that incorporate other disciplines. So I have a very separate thing of veterinary medicine. And in veterinary medicine, we can incorporate science theory and concepts. We can incorporate technology, engineering, and math. They do overlap and come together, but we use them as probably every day as we need to, as we're going through our discussions on the concepts in veterinary medicine. I do like the analogy that they provide is home with separate rooms that are used when needed. I don't do engineering every day in my class. I don't do technology every day. I don't do mathematics every day. I still stay in the wheelhouse of science as we talk about animal anatomy, and I'm pulling in those objects or those topics as needed to help sustain the students' engagement as well as understanding of the content material. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys soon.